Good morning, comrades. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to not at the Nürburgring, but not far from it. I'm currently charging my car and I decided to shoot this Q&A. But first, before we start, it is 1st of February today. It is actually 1st of February, the day that I'm shooting this video. So tell me how you have survived the first month of 2022, January. How's the year going so far for you? I'm very excited to read all of your answers as much as I'm excited to also answer all of your questions. You can also ask me a couple of questions for the upcoming Q&A. Now, before we start, an important update, and actually someone has asked also the update about my dental surgery. In case you were out of the loop, soon I will be getting a double jaw surgery. The bottom jaw will be, the lower jaw will be moved backwards and to the left, and the upper one downwards and to the front and to the right. So it's going to be quite a big thing. And today I went to the surgeon that is actually going to perform the surgery, and we talked through the dates. We actually made a date today, which is going to be the 20th of April this year. So initially they had a date on 30th of March. Now it's going to be a bit later, so we'll have more time to do save up some content that I will be able to publish, and there's that. But yeah, wanted to show you this, a 3D printed jaw of mine, which is it now currently stuck already? I know, it's just because it's sort of like rubber material. I don't know if you see much of it, but it's also about 2-month-old scan, so it is not, that's correct. The bottom teeth are a bit more forward because they're now already by this time they're actually more backwards. So yeah, it's actually, at this point, it's not that bad in comparison to how it was in the past. So I'm already satisfied with the result, but the biggest result is going to be once the jaws are actually moved. So yeah, excited. I wouldn't say scared. I'm genuinely excited and happy that it's going to take place. But generally, just an update. On 20th of April we're going to do it. There might be some changes, but at this point we fixed the date on the 20th of April. In any case, let's start with the actual questions. Yeah, I'm actually going to start with a question from one of you guys, and also going to be a question to the rest of the audience, because this namely says, "Hey Misha, I love driving, but I often struggle to justify driving just for enjoyment, thinking I'm polluting the air for no good reason or wasting energy that could serve better purposes. Just saying it makes me happy doesn't really make a strong enough argument to me, sadly. Can you help me change my mind?" Now, first of all, it is quite a challenging question, but it's also a very good question, and it would be extremely easy from the answering party in this case to say, stop overreacting, dude, and get your shit together and just drive and stop being a pussy. But it is actually a very valid concern. We definitely need to think of environment, but at the same time, I truly believe that we should not overreact. At the same time, that enjoying a glass of whiskey on a Friday night doesn't necessarily make you an alcoholic. So at the same time, if you want to enjoy something for yourself, it's not going to make you an extremist environmental pollutionist. So this also means that I think you do need to enjoy life, and for those small enjoyments that you're making, for example, the same goes with alcohol or eating tiramisu. In that regard, I would then train extra harder in the gym. So in this case, if you're really environmentally minded, I think that you should, if you go out and have some fun on the track and you feel bad about it, you can still offset this negative in whatever way by contributing, by donating to a charity, by planting a tree yourself maybe, by doing some other things. It's important to keep balance, not become an extremist by saying hey, stop being the way you are and just enjoy your life. Or on the other hand, stop driving your gas guzzling car and you need to drive EV to save Earth, which is also not true. So but from me, question to the majority of you guys is actually, how would you answer this type of question? Because I think it's very cool that someone is coming forward with this quite a valid concern, and it's quite challenging to answer it without throwing rocks at each other, and this is what this channel is very important about. Now, some other question. There were questions actually about the M5 project, because Robert sold the E92 and he sold the 675 LT. Who did he? Yes. And we are actually going to make a video explaining why he sold both cars. And I actually jokingly said on his Instagram page, actually considering selling M5. And now there were lots of questions why, what, how, please, no, don't, and why. So first of all, why? Because I don't have any personal attachment to the car as of now. I bought it drove it, I tried to drive it, it kind of almost burned down on me, and then we had to put it away, and now it's kind of stagnated and threatened. No offense, no, like, I'm not blaming anyone, but because he has like a lot of on his own plate. But the plan was that he would rebuild the car, and then he had lots of complications of his own, that he need to rebuild his own cars now. So I completely understand that, but the car is kind of standing there, and at this point I don't know what to do with it. And we'll just see. We'll see. I didn't make up my mind. It's there. It's not eating any money except for space at Team Shermer at this point. So it's just that I have no attachment to this car, no emotional attachment at all, other than the emotional like memories to an E34 M5 that I had as a child, which made me buy this car in the first place. But we'll see. We'll see. I do definitely would want to build a track car soon, probably maybe even this year. Because the E34 M5, I don't know if it's going to be a track car. It might be. We'll definitely do some laps with it, but we'll see as the process will go along. But I want to make something like really don't give a F and drive. Maybe like some, I would like to like screaming naturally aspirated like Civic Type R type of thing maybe, or go back to the roots. But we'll see. It will definitely come. Another very highly ranked question was about if Apex is going to be offer EV experiences. I'm trying to find it, but that was basically the question. There were actually a couple of questions regarding that. And at this point, honestly, I do not know. We were always saying like, yes, at some point we will definitely offer EV experience. It could also be EV taxi, because that's where we are headed towards anyway. But at this point, it's quite difficult to have it as a business case in terms of to make it like actually viable, because you can do roughly, if you floor it, you can do about 3 laps on a charge, and then it takes quite some time to recharge, because there are no fast chargers available at the ring or at Apex or just in general at the ring. So it's going to be quite a special case scenario. We're getting there, but there are no plans as of now. But I personally would love to do it, because I know the demand is rising for it and people would want to do it. So we'll see. Maybe we can do something together with Polestar. But at this point, there are no plans. But definitely, I would enjoy it, because a lot of people have definitely like questions for that, and they're curious about it. Now, there were also a lot of questions about doing laps with your stock car. Someone wrote that you has a Megane. Just from the back of my head, I'm trying to circle through it. And you want to come to the Nürburgring. All right, there we go. 140 horsepower Megane 4, have improved chassis performance by installing Bilstein B14, brake pads, etc., but it's slow to comparison to other cars. How could you do it? I actually made a video 2 years ago when I was driving my stock back then. I never drove a modified Golf 4 TDI because it's, in any case, the stock Golf 4, and I said like, hey, this is a guide of how to drive slow cars, and basically a shit box. The most important thing is always look in your mirrors and stay on the right side for the faster traffic. And I would advise to pick like a time slot when not many cars are driving. Now, from this year on, the track will be open again from 8 a.m. on the weekend. So you can come there at 8 in the morning when the majority of people are still sleeping, and you will have a pretty much empty track. Alternatively, if you're not such an early bird, you can also come in the evening, but you will have still chance that people might hang around longer for the track closure. But either very early or very late, you do not risk having too much traffic on the day itself, but also in the beginning or the end of the year. So come those times, that's when the track is like usually most quiet, usually, because there are always like random exceptions. And this is something that you could do to just like do it properly, or to say like more safe, because you have less traffic and you will not be in the way of many people. Most important thing, just look in your mirror, stay on the right side, and you will be absolutely fine. I'll try to include the video that I made back then with the Golf, but most likely I will forget it, like I do most of the times. Green Hell Tactics, question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation marks. Yes, it's coming soon. We actually shot a video together with Adrian, 2 videos. He just needs to edit them, but right now he's working on a big Polestar video that we are going to publish in the next couple of days. Do you have any news about the first Bugatti and Rimac car? Yes, I do. Have you ever driven the ring in reverse, as in driving forwards but in other direction? This is a question actually we get quite often when from people who just like new to the channel, because it's like every time I ask a Q&A and I answer this. Yes, I have, either off camera or on camera when there were sector guided trainings. And yes, there's also an event once a year, which is Rally Köln-Ahrweiler. It's a rally stage, and then they drive the Nürburgring in reverse. I would like to participate with that event, maybe even this year, we will see, so I can show it to you in its full glory. But yes, and unfortunately, it's not possible to do more events like that, like TF Day or a track day in reverse. And it has to do with safety, because those gravel traps, the safety barriers mostly, or the FIA fences are installed there in the high-speed sections to absorb high impacts at sections where it is going wrong, also tire barriers, etc. So if you're turning it around completely, you need to install completely new safety precaution instruments, measurements, etc. Whereas during a rally stage is then a rally stage, and in the rally stage, as you know, you can just fly sideways 160 kilometers per hour in the air through the woods with no the only guardrailers are actually living people. And that's kind of acceptable. So that's why they have only once an actual race event. Second part of the question was, could we see an EV only day at the ring when they get the charges sorted? Well, I mean, I don't think during TF, tourist and fun and public sessions, no, because it's basically public road, and just like on a public road, you can have EVs and normal cars, and if you're gonna have only EVs, then you need to have lots of chargers there, so you can just come there and enjoy. But at this point, they're actually an EV race. The GLP, like a subsidiary of RCN, is having EV-only class, and it's about consistency. So you need to drive as consistent as possible towards your first lap. And this is something that I'm planning on doing this year. So I'm looking forward to sharing these adventures and how it is going to be like later on in the year with you. And I think that is pretty much it regarding the timeline, because I need to hurry back up and pick up Pancake from her doggy sitter. Yeah. So at this point, I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. Sorry for not answering more questions, but I'm running low on time. But feel free to ask some more, and otherwise I will pick some more questions for one of the upcoming video. That's pretty much it. And actually one of the also highest ranked one was about the streaming schedule. I will try to stream somewhere this week probably. I don't have any exact schedule because it's happening spontaneously. Pretty sorry for that, but that's my hectic life at this point. All right, thanks for watching, and again, looking forward to reading the comments, and see you soon in one of the upcoming videos. Bye bye.